Well, welcome back to my line locomotive build in 5-inch gauge. So it's been a couple of weeks since I've been in the workshop due to a nasty chest infection. So it's been a little while since my previous video. So anyway, in this video we're going to continue with the brass stone. So we're going to cut some brass and do some forming. So let's see how we get on. So I'm making the brass stone from 4 separate sides, which we'll have to silver solder together. So it'll be one of these, and there'll be 2 of these. So I've made these cardboard templates as a reference to cut the brass. So we'll start with the front plate. So it'll look something like that. So I was fortunate enough to have a scrap steel ring which I was able to turn up to make a filing guide. So I'll clamp that onto there and we'll finish filing it to shape. The original idea to silver solder these together was to make a butt joint between each sheet and put a piece of brass behind to support it and silver solder all that together. But I think that's going to be quite difficult to hold everything together. I don't think it's easily going to provide an invisible joint. So after some consideration I decided it would be best to flange the 2 parts to solder together, so I can put them together like that and hold them with some clamps. So this is the former that was made in the previous video. So if we're going to flange the 2 sides that we're soldering together, I'll need to put a recess in each one of these blocks to allow the flange to drop in there and get bent over. Okay, that's it back together. So we'll just try those in there, see what it fits like. Quite a neat fit. Yeah, that should work okay. So just need to check the distance from the top to the cutout. Okay, so the distance from the top of the boiler to the barrel looks to be 62 millimeters, so it needs to be 62. It's actually 60. So I'll need to take 2 millimeters off the bottom of there. Okay, guess we should anneal that now and then see if we can form it around the corner. It's going to be interesting. Okay, it's not as flat as it was, it's a little bit uneven, never mind. So I've made a clamp arrangement to clamp this onto the former. I've got my lines on, so I just lined up with my lines. I've got the clamp close to this edge because that's where the bend's going to be, or the first bend anyway. Okay, so we need to see if we can form it around so this bar should be the right size to help form that, so see if we can bend it a bit more. So just a bit more. Clamp that down again. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, we need to bend this corner now. See if I can keep this flat, sort of just bend it. Okay. Oh, that's looking pretty good. Okay. Right. So we can take this block off and start to see if we can form that along that corner. That's going to be the big test. So this needs trimming back a bit, I think, but we'll make a start. I'm just going to use an aluminium bar as a little dolly to try and shape that over. So on this corner we're actually trying to shrink the material. Oh yeah, I don't think it's something too bad. I think what I'll do is I'll file some nicks out of there. Let's try a round file. Okay, see what we can do now. Okay, I'm going to take it off and grind that back to about 3mm and put it back on and finish off the shaping. It's not looking too bad though. Going to be naughty and take the guard off. Okay, that's not looking too bad. Put it back onto the former and finish it off. Okay, that would be the front piece. So off camera I'll make up this side piece here. So it's just following the same procedure exactly, more or less. And then we'll need to see about silver soldering this joint. See how we get on with that. Okay, so that's one corner ready for silver soldering. Doesn't look too bad. Of course the problem we have is that we now have kind of a groove along the length of this seam which will have to be filled. I don't think we can fill it with silver solder, so what I'm thinking is I'll put in some wire to fill that in and silver solder the wire in and then file it flush. So that's what I'm thinking anyway. Question is what size wire. So this is 1mm. It's not far off, I think. Maybe it's a little bit big, I'm not sure. To think about it. The next question is, do I silver solder the seam together before I put the wire in, and then silver solder the wire in as a separate operation, or do I do it all, or do I do it all in one go? How do I hold the wire in place for silver soldering? That's another problem. So many unknowns, so many questions, so many decisions to make. Time for a cup of tea, I think. Have a think about it.